on this computer. All right. Thank you so much for hopping on. Seriously, I so appreciate it. I was keeping an eye out on there to see if I was going to see you pop on, but I told them invite somebody that they're thinking about that maybe is feeling discouraged in any way, because I know that you are going to bring the fire, and I know that their cups are going to be so super filled. How are you?
That's the goal.
That is the goal. All right, guys, I'm going to introduce Kim. She is amazing. Oh, I have Angelina's going to help me keep an eye on muting. But you guys, Kim is so sweet to take this time out and pour into us. I heard a Zoom from her the other day, and it brought me to tears. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to reach out and see if she has a little bit of time to pour into us. And I just appreciate you so much. So Kim, tell us your story. And I know this is one of your favorite things to do because stories are so important, and everybody has a different one. So tell us your story, how long you've been in, and all that good stuff.
Yes, will do. I'm excited, you guys. Stories are my favorite thing in the world because I don't care how much y'all, tips are great on how to like work your business. Those are great. But unless you know why, it won't pay off. It doesn't do anything, and you won't go into it with excitement and passion like you should. So yes, I love stories. I go and attend meetings and trainings because of the stories. I love getting to know people. So my name is Kim Cain. For those of you who don't know, I've been with It Works now for over 7 years, which is crazy. I've been in this business a long time, and I joined with an eviction notice. I was actually being evicted when I started It Works, and oh, my girl Amber just popped on. I was like, hey team, if a couple of you want to hop on here while you have 2 seconds, do it. But I'm happy she could be on. But I joined this business with an eviction notice, and we were in the process of going through that eviction, and I had a 1-month-old baby. He was literally 30 days old when I got started with this business. And I was going through a lot of life. So at the very end of my pregnancy, I had actually lost 15 pounds in 15 days. And I remember Amber has probably heard this now a million times. So if you're my team and you're on here, they're like, But I lost 15 pounds, 15 days. I remember stepping on the scale at the doctor right before I was about to give birth. And they were like, all right, go to the room. And I'm like, wait, did you see that weight loss? Or like, we just gonna ignore that? And they're like, oh my gosh, you did. And I'm like, it's fine. It's just stress. It's fine. Everything's fine here. Don't worry about me. And we were just so worried. Like we were literally living not even paycheck to paycheck. And at the time I was actually off of work completely on short-term disability because of my pregnancy. So that's why the eviction came, because before that we were barely getting by. And then you took most of my income. So now we're being evicted. I have a brand new kid. I'm working. I eventually went back to work after he was born because I really couldn't afford maternity leave, which is so sad to think about. But I went back to work shortly after, maybe when he was 2 months old. I was working 50 to 60 hours a week, and I hated my life. I can honestly, other than having a brand new kid, I did not. Like, I was so depressed. I was so anxious all the time, which resulted in the weight loss. And while I was pregnant, at the end of it, and it was just like, it was a rough patch in my life. On top of that, I was an atheist. So, when you have God, you at least have someone in your corner that you can go to and turn to and that's fighting for you. But when you don't know him, when you don't have that relationship, you're literally stuck. And it was a really dark part of my life. So luckily, I had my son, and I remember being on my couch, and I'm not kidding when I would say I would stay up till 3 or 4 in the morning because Joe went to work at 4 in the morning. So I just knew I'll stay on the couch drinking Mountain Dew, like literally, y'all. I would drink Mountain Dew and watch Law and Order SVU until he got up to go to work, because I didn't want to get in the bed with him because I was huge. I felt like a whale, and I just wanted to sleep by myself. So I would go to bed, and I remember sitting on the couch all by myself the last couple months of my pregnancy, just literally crying. I didn't know I was praying, okay, but he was listening to me anyway. So even when I wasn't seeking God, when I wasn't interested in him, he I just got muted. Okay, I'm good. Yep, I'm good. So I was sitting on my couch. I don't know where it muted me, but I was praying and I didn't know that I was praying. So I love God because he was pursuing my heart when I wanted nothing to do with his. So I was sitting on my couch just looking up work from home jobs and everything was a joke. It was a joke. It was a joke. I'm like, okay, close my laptop. I'm like, well, that was fun. I tried. Back to the factory I go. And it was just depressing. I didn't want to, but I had to, quote unquote. I had to, right? We think we have to go back to work and live this mundane, mediocre ass life, and it just wasn't for me. And it was tough. So anyway, I had this new baby, and my friend asked me if I would come to this huge wrap party. I know with like the pandemic, we haven't had a lot of in-person events, but I have been here 7 years. I've been to I couldn't even tell you, hundreds of Triad events. So put a 1 in the comments if you've been to any kind of Triad event or one team, one mission, anything like that. It is so much fun. It gives me life. I freaking love it. And anyway, but when I went to my first one, I had no idea what I was walking into. I just knew that I was going to try our skinny wrap for free. Homegirl was being evicted. I had no money. So when you told me I could try a wrap for free, I was like, bet. Like, I have no idea what's in it, don't care. But I have this flabby, loose skin on my stomach from having my kid 30 days ago. So yeah, I will be there. And it was my best friend. He's like a brother to me. And I said, yeah, I want to see you. You're here from I'm in Grand Rapids, Michigan. He was visiting from Florida. So I'm like, yeah, I will totally be there. So I went with my newborn baby. I put the wrap on. I was like, this is cool. This is cool. I would try this again. And he was like, yeah, but I actually have you here because I just want you to hear about the money aspect. And I'm like, I'm not here for all of that, but you try. He was like, Kim, you're literally the most broke person I know. Like, you need to change that. And I thought he was just spinning my wheels. So I sat in the back of the room with him, and I was that ignorant person that wouldn't stop talking. I just kept talking, and I'm like, this is dumb. They're all drinking the Kool-Aid. Everybody's wearing black, green, and bling. Like, this is a joke. So I just talked in the back of the room, standing up. And then this girl got on stage. You guys, Cammie was there, Cammie Pentecost, Stephanie and Joel. And I'm like, who are they? I don't care. Like, they're nobody. They're just people that are on stage talking all this mess, saying they make money. They don't make no money. And then literally, I just heard this girl stand up and say, I'm a mom. I don't remember her whole story, but all she said, I remember, was like, I'm a mom, and now I make about $2,000 a month from home. And I was like, wait. I was just looking up stuff like this, but I couldn't find nothing. Like, are you kidding me? I was literally looking up stuff to do from home, and here this girl is telling me she makes this money from home. Like, wait a minute. And at that point, and if you know a Triad event, those stories come at the tail end. So I was talking until the tail end of it, and I was like, wait, okay. And Zach's like, I told you, this is not a joke. Like, I told you. And so I literally, grace of God, I had every reason not to join. I had every literal excuse. I had no time, no money, no experience, no network, no nothing. And I said yes, not let me go home and think about all the reasons why I shouldn't, so that everybody can get in my ear, tell me what I should do with my money, right? That night, I said, I'm just going to take a chance. I hate my life. I need different. And I'm so thankful that God intervened in that moment, because I'm not that kind of, I don't have that kind of mentality. I'm a very like skim right under the surface, do the bare minimum. I'm not someone who like takes chances and risks and stuff like that. I'm not. So that was a God move right there. So and every time someone talked about giving God the glory, I was more turned off. When someone said like, oh, this is a faith-based company, I'm like, yuck. And I still said yes. That night, November 13th of 2013, $99. I was like, sign me up, because you know what? Life can't get no worse. It can't. If this doesn't work out for me, then it doesn't work out. I got 4 reps out of the business. Like, cool. Okay, I'm moving on. But what if it does? I literally couldn't leave that room without thinking like, man, but what if it does? And y'all, the what if it does paid off. So like 5 months into the business, I went diamond. I earned the $10,000 bonus. I'm a nobody who barely has any faith, had no faith to begin with. And I went diamond in 5 months. And it was just an incredible feeling to walk into my factory job and say, you're fired. Like, you're fired. I'm never coming back. I'm going home to my now 5 or 6 month old. And I'm going to go raise him. And so 5 months, not even, I actually quit a little bit before that, but I quit my job and I've been home now with my 2 kids. So Eric and Lucy, they're 5 and 7. They don't know anything but a stay-at-home mom who gets to just we live life on our terms. They see a mama who conquers and hustles and overcomes obstacles and barriers and things that not many people would, most people just give up. And it's been such an incredible journey. The best part is that about 6 or 7 months into my business, I did find God. I formed a relationship. I started having a conversation, and it's changed my entire life. So I'm thankful to the company for a lot of things, but the faith piece it's been my favorite part. So that's a little of my story wrapped up in 7 years.
Oh my gosh. I love that, because there's so many different, there was just so many different things that I picked up from your story. And so I'm going to ask you this just because I'm so curious, because I know where my $99 came from. I had to sell lawn furniture. Did you use your last 99 bucks, or did you have to sell something to get it?
I remember this feeling. Okay, so y'all heard me say I was at work. I will never forget. I still have the paycheck upstairs. So I was receiving short-term disability, which is a joke. You don't get like none of your income at all. And I remember receiving my first $205 paycheck. And I was like, I'm gonna spend it on a business. Like, we're being evicted, we need food, I need stuff. And I remember going up to Joe, we've been together almost 10 years now. I went up to him and I'm like, by the way, I went home and I said I joined a business with my $205. And he was like, okay, what is it? I'm like, I don't know, they have wraps. And he's like, okay. And I'm like, here I go. All I know is I'm making that back. And y'all, I sold all 4 wraps at the Speedway gas station down the street from me because I needed my money back. So like, I can say I've never spent a dime. I've never spent a dime like that ever. You know, yeah. So $205 I had to my name. Yeah.
And so you had money left over, shoot.
Yeah, I went and splurged. No, I didn't. No,
She's like, I was at the gas station, I got me a Slurpee.
Hot Cheetos. I got hot Cheetos. Yes, you know. Yes.
But yeah, I always like to ask that, especially like when you were talking, I was like, yeah, I wonder if she used her last 99 bucks. I was like, I'm going to ask her, because I know it's such a funny question to ask, but like for real, because I remember I came home and I was like Richard came home from work after me, and I was already putting out the lawn furniture in the front yard. And he's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I sold all this stuff for $99. And he was like, why? And I'm like, because I'm starting a business. He's like, okay, I'm going to go take a shower. I'm like, okay, bye.
Bye, love you.
Bye, love you. Just watch.
Just watch. That's what I said. I'm like, just watch me. Don't worry about it. Just watch.
Just watch. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So you've been in for 7 years. That is 1 year longer than me. And so I know you have some team on here, and I just want to introduce myself. You guys, I'm Marisa Robinson. I'm from Texas, and I'm a double diamond. And I was at the rank of Emerald for 3 years until my best friend Jackie Deering told me she believed in me, and she was the first person that really poured into me and said, hey, I believe in you, you can do that, what do you need? And you guys, it's incredible what hearing one person tell you genuinely that you can do something, what happens whenever that's told to you, right? And so we shortly went diamond after I chased it for 3 years. And so I know, and then 6 months after that, we went double. And so I know, like, there's so many different seasons that you see in this business, and staying at a rank or being at a certain rank for a long time, or promoting really fast and then losing rank is also discouraging, right? And so, there's a lot of different limiting beliefs that you run into. I feel like you've been through all these seasons. Can you just speak on these seasons, what you've learned, what your advice is? Take it away.
Yeah. So this is a topic for me that, I mean, you have to understand, this is 7 years. I can't relate to people who have a give up mentality. If you like doing something, I don't know why you would ever give up. So if you give up, you must not have been for real anyway. You must not have been for real and committed in the first place. Like, then get gone. But I have when something makes me happy, like when you see actual growth, why would you give up? So when I joined this business as an atheist, and I found God 5 or 6 months into the business, I was on my way home in the dark, and I had an hour-long car ride, and I was like, listen, these people keep talking about you. So Jesus, whoever you are, if you're real, let's just have a conversation. And so and that's my growth. I want you to take your story and put it in your own words. Okay, that's me. But where I found Jesus, the solid rock, like where I've formed friendships that I could have never had. I've literally created a family. I remember telling my It Works family at an OTOM that I was pregnant with Lucy before I ever told my family. Like you create relationships with this business. And I've never been a part of something where you have room to fail and then grow. Like in most places, you fail and get fired. You fail and get reamed. You fail and you get a write-up. You fail and you get told what not to do, and you get talked about. And people talk behind your back and they spread rumors. But in a company like this, like, excuse me, I've been growing at Triple for 4 years. I'm not mad about it. I'm not sad about it. I'm not bent about it because first of all, God has placed the desire on my heart, so I know it's good. And I'm trusting the process. You have to be able and willing to face your own, what are you not doing? And I'm going to be completely transparent with you. I've had if you don't know Jesus like I do, I'm about to sound like a crazy person, but I love God and I spend a lot of time with God. And just recently, like if you shut up and let the Holy Spirit speak, you will hear things you needed to hear. And sometimes there are things you don't want to hear. But he's told me, like, Kim, I have given you an $8,000, $9,000 paycheck. I have given you this, and you're asking for $20,000 a month. You're asking for presidential. And girl, I hear you. Child, I hear you. But you haven't even been able to handle what I've given you yet. So until you can handle more, I'm not giving it to you. And y'all, it has hit me like a ton of bricks. That's information I didn't want to hear. I'm a spender. I grew up in a household where, I have 8 siblings. We grew up very poor. Eviction notices times a million. We've had power turned off, lights turned off, blah, 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 blah. We've lived in homeless shelters. We've lived in 2-bedroom trailers. So when I get money, I spend it quicker than I get it because I'm not used to it. I'm not used to it. So I have not done, now listen, I've grown a lot since going Triple 4 years ago. So I have done better with my money, but God is still like, I have the $20,000 waiting for you right here, but until you're able to do the things I'm calling you to do, I'm not giving it to you. I want to bless you, but I need to trust that I can bless you with it. So that's been a huge growth for me. And y'all, I have joined Dave Ramsey. I didn't want to. I knew Dave Ramsey was going to tell me don't spend your money. I didn't want to hear that. I like to blow my money on things I don't need. And I am trusting the process. And when you become obedient in your growth, like, listen, Lord, what do I need to do to level up? If you haven't gotten a promotion that you wanted, it's not because God doesn't love you. It's not because God ain't listening. It's not because you don't deserve it. It's because you need that growth. There's somewhere that you need to grow so that he can show up and say, I want the glory for this. I want it so freaking, I want people to know that it was me who did it, not you. He needs you to just like get off your pedestal, get off your high horse so that people can say, that was truly a miracle. Holy, Kim just changed generations. Kim just broke curses. Kim just is out here breaking generational curses for her family. My kids will never have to go through what I grew up like, but that takes growth. So you have to trust the process. If you've been, I can't, when people say I've been stuck at Diamond for 2 years, you've been growing there. You've been growing at Diamond for 2 years. There's a difference. If you stay the course, like the path is already paved. You just have to stay the course. If you know that this is something you wake up and you love doing, keep doing it. Even if you fail, even if you feel like, why aren't the people coming? Why is this not working out? Why don't I have the volume? Because it's coming, but you have to trust it. You fear and praying while fearing and doubting, those things cannot coexist. They cannot coexist. And some of us are out here like praying for things, but in the back of our heads, we're going, but will God do it? I don't think he can do it. If you've ever read any of the Bible stories, you're offending him is what you're doing. So give it to God fully and let him do the work. If you've been in this I've been in for 7 years and I could easily be like, why am I not presidential yet? I'm having fun. I'm trusting the process. There have absolutely been times where I'm frustrated, but that was when my faith was seriously small. And now I'm like, God, I know you got, like, I know with my whole heart that he's got this. And I want to read something to you real quick. I was listening to I highly recommend y'all go watch this video tonight. It's only 45 minutes. It's called Girl Get Up. And it is so good. She's going to scream at you and it's good. And it's like, you're going to feel like a different person. But she said, and I literally was driving, but I took my phone off and I voice memoed this because it was so important to me. Doubt is contagious. Insecurities are contagious. Fear is contagious. Sometimes you need to cut people out. Sometimes you need to cut situations out. There have been times like, y'all, I have literally let go of people on my chart and on my team that I never, ever, 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 ever thought I would have to. But it's because, and then when she said it today, I'm like, oh my gosh, that's why. I don't put up with people who come into my circle and doubt me. I don't want to talk presidential to people that are like, oh, okay. Okay, all right, sounds good. That, oh, $20,000 a month. Okay, I make $20,000 a year, Kim. Those aren't the people I want in my circle. I just don't, because doubt is contagious, fear is contagious. She made a great example. If you get a phone call that there's cancer in your family, are you gonna call someone who's like, well, based on statistics, they ain't gonna make it? Are you gonna call on God and be like, I know that you aren't about statistics. I know that you're a God who heals and raises the dead and does the things that no one can. So like, you have to surround yourself with people that are going to cheer you on. If you're stuck or whatever, if you've been stuck, if you feel whatever, just know that you're the only person who needs to get out of your own way. That took a long time for me. It's not because you're doing maybe you're doing some things wrong, but it's not primarily because you're doing it wrong. It's because you have the wrong intentions and you don't even know what you're working towards. You really don't even know why you want it. You don't know, you're not doing it with integrity. You're not doing it with heart. You're not passionate. If you're doing this just to get a fast start bonus, good luck. But if you're doing this to leave a legacy behind, to see the growth that can really come, like, I am thankful. I'm going to say it one more time. At the factory, I could still be there. 7 years have gone by. I'm still making $12.50 an hour, not making crap. I'm not making nothing. People are scolding me. People are saying, you know what, Kim, you're demoted. You talk too much. You talk too much. You can't make 80 parts an hour. You're done. I could still be there. That's what I think about. I would much rather be, quote unquote, stuck at triple here in a place that says you are going to succeed, and where I get to learn about the Lord and I get to grow my faith in. Listen, Dave Ramsey said it, but I'm going to say it. I don't want to take his words. I met God on the way up, but I got to know him on the way down. Like, you get to know God in the valleys, and I'm thankful for those valleys. I'm thankful for the struggle, because I wouldn't be who I am today or here where I am today if it weren't for that. So it's okay to go through darkness. It's whether or not you come back out into the light, a better person. Because the only other thing you can do is you can say, I've been stuck here, then I'm going back to shit. And sorry, I cuss, I'm sorry. I'm going back to worse. You could do that, or you can say, you know what, I'm gonna proceed anyway and just see, and I'm just gonna see what happens. I know that growth can be uncomfortable, and that's probably what's holding you back, is you're just sitting in a bubble. Some of you are probably just sitting in a bubble, not willing to get out of your comfort zone. I recommend, instead of sitting there and blaming everyone around you and your circumstances and your family and your, negative people, how about you get out of your comfort zone, do the things that you've been called to do so that your purpose here on earth is fulfilled. And God says, well done. Well done. You listened. You didn't just remain complacent and let the earth tell you what to do, and people. And, this company has been such an amazing place for me to spread my wings. So if you look at it as anything, take it however you want. But if you're stuck, let it in. Like, this is a place though where you're able to grow on your time and just spread your wings. Just spread your wings, figure out who you are and what you need to do to become more, to become better. The only person you should be trying to be or become better is yourself. And so I love that I've been here 7 years, and maybe I'm not at presidential ambassador yet, but it's on its way. And I've never, ever heard God tell me as clearly as he has, like, Kim, now is the time. You've had a lot of work to do, and you did it, and you're doing it, and you're not done, but I feel like now you are equipped, and it's going down, because I trusted the process. What if I'd given up? What if I'd given up after waiting a whole 6 months after going triple and I wasn't pres? What if I'd given up? I wouldn't. My kids would say, we have a mom who gives up. We have a mom who gives up when things are a little bit tough. And I'm out here trying to show them that it's okay to fall, not that it's not the opposite. I want my kids to see a mom who fell and maybe looked stupid sometimes, maybe didn't do the things she said she was going to do, but that rises more and more and more and more every single day. I want them to have a different life every day. I want them to have a different adulthood because I changed it when they were kids. I want them to have different ways of parenting when they're parents, because I did hard things when they were born and little. That's what I want. I want my kids to see me getting back up. Quit giving up in front of little eyes. That's not, I mean, come on, you're made for more than that. And when I joined, it was because I wanted to make enough to buy diapers and put gas in my car for work. And I get to tell my kids, like, mama did so much more than that. You can do and be and have anything that you want in this life. I didn't know that until I joined It Works. I didn't know that. I truly didn't understand that. I thought you went to work, you retired at 70, your knees were hurting, you barely get a life to live, good luck. But there's more to it. My kids would have had that same mentality. I was a very negative person. So yeah, that was a long answer, but
no, I love it, dude. I love it because yeah, I remember, you know, on that, I told you that one of my leaders sent me that Zoom, and I was like literally walking in a Hot Topic, and I was listening to the Zoom, and I was like, oh my gosh, like what is happening right now? And I was like crying in the line. But one of the things that you said during that Zoom that I listened to was, you didn't want your kids to say like, oh, that's network marketing. Yeah, my mom used to do that. And, you know, she was super successful at it, but then I don't know what happened. She doesn't do it anymore. I don't know what happened. It's been years or whatever. And like, just hearing you talk about that right now too, that's a real feeling, man. That's a real feeling. Cause I mean, I remember that. Like my dad lost his job whenever my mom was pregnant with me, and she did Tupperware, and she was super successful at Tupperware. And because my dad lost his job, she was like, I have to go back and work a 9 to 5. And she didn't just work one, but she worked 3 jobs. And all throughout, I mean, she still works 2 jobs. She won't let me help her out. She's a South Texas rancher is what she is. But yeah, I mean, it's, you know, and I think about that too. I'm like, to go to being at the top of that kind of company. And then, you know, I didn't get to experience it, but yeah, I mean, that's real. That's a real feeling. So when you're feeling discouraged, and when you're feeling like, because I could imagine throughout 7 years, because I think about my 6 years, and I'm like, I've lost some teammates. I've lost people. I mean, my sister-in-law is on here. She's still with me, Double Diamond. She's doing awesome. But my sister quit. Like my beloved sister quit. I mean, I have, you know, there's lots of different people within the organization that I've lost throughout the 6 years. And so when that happens, when you lose teammates, or you have a teammate that is not, you know, that you feel like, and this is something I've learned just recently, like over the last 2 years, this is a recent lesson for me, is what you're saying about certain parts of your organization. Like, well, nobody over there works. And so I gotta really focus on, and like saying that, even if it's just to your spouse, you're still saying it out loud. Mm-hmm. Even if you're not talking about it to anybody but yourself, you're still saying it out loud. You're still speaking that out in the universe. Right. And so, that's one thing that I wanted to kind of touch on, is like, when you're feeling discouraged, and when you feel like, oh, you know, I don't have teammates working, or I have team quitting, what is it that you do during those times that you feel discouraged? Are you deep diving into self-development, or are you just putting your head down and your horn up and working harder? Like, talk to us a little bit about that, because I'm sure you've seen some loss in teammates.
Oh, yes. Okay. Yes, I have. So, can you guys hear me? My internet just did something weird. Can y'all still hear me? Are we good? Okay. Okay. So I've said this, I'll probably say this in every Zoom. Eventually I'll get it tattooed on my forehead, but not right now. If you aren't butting heads with the devil, chances are you're walking in the same direction as him. So I'll say that one more time. If you're not butting heads with the devil, you're probably walking in the same direction as him. You guys, I would rather be making hell nervous than worried about just being comfortable and do, you know, I would so much rather have the devil shaking in his boots when he sees me than to, you know, I would much rather come head to head with him. I'd rather be at war with him every day than give in. So if you are having things happen in your business, you're like, why? It's okay. God has a plan. He works all things out for your good. There's a weapon that is already formed, but it won't prosper if you don't let it. And most of the time, that weapon is from your own thoughts. You're the one freaking forming the weapon. Quit. So when people quit, y'all have had a lot of people. And this is like, I'm so thankful that I dig and dive deep into God's word, because if I didn't, I wouldn't be equipped for these things. But when people quit, okay, like they're quitting, they're not quitting on me. They're quitting. They're not quitting on you. So are you going to let a give up mentality affect yours? Like, just, okay, you don't want this, that's cute. My goals still remain the same. I still know what I want from this business. It has not changed because little old you decided that you give up after signing 2 customers and all the people ain't flocking. Like, it's more than that. You will start to attract people who want to treat this like a business if you treat this like a business. And business people don't give up when that person can, let's just think about not at work. People who start a traditional, let's say, just like a hairstylist. Okay, I have a hairstylist niece, and she had to build her clientele. I know that girl worked hard to build her clientele, and now she's got such a great clientele that like she literally can't accept no more people. But the process in the beginning was a little bit difficult. She kind of had to go out like we do and blitz people. She had to like ask people to come into her salon and try her out. She did the same things. But she wouldn't close down shop just because 1 or 2 or 3 people a year were like, I don't like the way you do my hair. Okay, well, I know I love what I do. So like, that's fine. Go find someone new. I'll replace, your seat is already taken. Like, you have to think of it as a traditional business. If a tattoo artist opens up shop, just because people don't come right away, like they're coming. And so this is a business. Quit giving up. Because what does it do? Like, I want you to physically sit and like write out a pros and cons list of, pros of quitting, cons of quitting. I promise you, like, there's way more cons. So let me turn my heater off. But yes, I've had multiple people quit. But the thing is, here's the thing, is I'm not depending on even the people I got started this month to take me all the way to ambassador. You're always building. If you're always building, you're good. If you're always building, like, that's where people get really discouraged, is they sign up 5 people. Now they're boxed for a little bit of, over Ruby, and they're like, this is it, let's go. I'm like, no, keep building, because people are going to quit. It's because not everyone is meant. There's a statistics out there, like literally. Oh, can you hear me now? It muted me. I don't know what happened. Okay. But some people are going to quit, and you have to understand, like, if you're equipped with like okay, people are not quitting on me, they're just quitting, you'll get over it so much quicker. And Cindy Pentecost says it, pray them in, pray them out. You guys, God has a plan. If it's not this, it's something better. So if someone says no to you, I promise you, like, okay, then I'm closer to a yes. I'm closer to my yes. I'm closer to the right person. Because if God blocks it, it means that he's got something better in store for you. But you can't give up in the process of waiting for better. You can't give up, because then you'll never see what the better is. So when people quit, get over it quickly. And it doesn't mean, you don't need, when I look at my presidential diamond chart, I'm not like, oh man, I always forget how many boxes it is. I need all 105 boxes working. No, I don't. That would be great. That would be a freaking miracle, is what that would be, because not all 105 boxes would ever be working. It's just not a thing. It's network marketing, you guys. You need a few people doing a few things. You need a couple people that have the mindset like you. You need literally just a few people who have a mindset like you. So look for those people. How are you going to find those people? You're going to be those people. So if you're praying for leadership, if you're praying for these like specific people to join your team, look yourself in the mirror and be honest with yourself. Are you even being that? If the answer is no, why are they going to join your team? They're going to go join her team. They're going to go join her team, because she's actually showing up as that person she wants on her team. So like, I went diamond, and literally my sister was my emerald. She dipped out. She was like, I'm good. Like, she literally got scared. She saw her biggest paycheck and got scared, because she doesn't anymore. Different story, different day. She's hustling. She's killing it. She has her own laundry business. She does photography. It is not like her. She just started all of this during the pandemic. But 7 years ago, she joined my business and went emerald with me, and while I went diamond, and she quit right after emerald and went back to a bank job. And she told me, she said, I need a secure paycheck. I said, you mean one of those like handcuff like jobs where you clock in and clock out, and like and she didn't have kids at the time. Once she had her kids, she was like, oh my gosh, this sucks. I'm like, I told you. I'm just saying, I told you. But I love you and I'm praying for you. And she quit as soon as she went, so my diamond literally fell apart because I was not a good leader. First of all, I didn't know who God was. So I was so selfish going diamond. I did it all for me. And I will say that it sucked. I didn't do it right, but I did it. And I lost a lot of people in the process, but especially my sister, that hurt for a minute. And I didn't understand. And instead of I argued with her. And I don't do that. I don't argue with her. I don't argue with people who quit on my team. I don't do that. But I was like hurt because that was my sister. So when I went double, it was with a brand new team. When I went triple, I think 2 people from my double went with me to triple. But because I was always building, because I was continuing to bring people to opportunity events, because I was continuing to show up to events despite what are other people doing? Don't care. I'm focused. My head is up. I'm looking down. I'm focused. I'm not looking left. I'm not looking right. I'm not looking at what the person over here is doing. I'm focused. And what you think about, you bring about. What you focus on expands. So what are you focusing on? The things you're lacking? Or if you're focusing on a chart that is lacking and people that are quitting, guess what? Congratulations. That's what you're attracting, and you're going to keep doing that. I hope that helps you moving forward there we go. Yeah, I hope that moving forward, you focus on the right things. You're like, oh, I hope somebody just flipped a script and said, you know what? It's true. I've been looking at my charts and thinking about the lack. Instead of doing that, focus on like, wow, I've got this person who's working. I've got this person who's working. What can we show up to next? Where can we plug in next? What personal development can we do together? Hey guys, might be 2 or 3 of you, but let's keep going, because what you focus on expands, and what you pray for, listen, he'll give it. He'll give it. He's not a withhold God. Like, he wants you to have the things that he wants you to have. And if it's good, it's God. So pray about it. Ask specifically. Be bold enough to ask specifically. I don't know if you've ever really gotten into the Bible and read Genesis, but in a very short version, Abraham goes to God and he's like, listen, I know you're about to completely get rid of this whole town, but what if there's some good people in it? And God's like, for you, I will save those people. He's like, but what if he's like, not to press God, but like, what if there's even 40 people? And God's like, okay, then I will save those 40 people. He's like, okay, now that I'm here, like, I don't mean to offend you, but God, what if there's only 20? Will you save those? Will you spare them? And he's like, yes, I will. He asked again. He asked like 3 more times. And he was bold enough. He was bold enough to say, hey, God, like, I know you're God and everything, but like, would you please not, would you please do this? And then he kept asking and he kept asking. And God was like, since you asked, yeah, that's us. We're just not praying bold enough, and we're praying too small, and we don't think we can bring that to the Lord, when really, like, he literally wants you to bring any and everything to him, like a conversation. Be bold enough. Abraham was bold. He didn't need to ask that, and he didn't need to ask it 5 or 6 times. Okay. God was like, listen, I get it. You want me to save the good people, but he was specific. He was specific, and he asked boldly. He asked humbly. He was kind. You go to God and ask, can you please, would you bless me with 40 more people? I know that that's specific, but Lord, would you bless me with the 40 people that I'm praying for and expand my territory? Just be specific and trust that they're on their way. If you stop looking left and right and focusing on all the wrong things, prayer and doubt cannot coexist. It just can't. So be intentional with what you're asking for, and it'll happen.
Amen, sister. Yes, like, just so much yes. I'm just like, I have like one of my girls just text me. It was like, don't cry. I'm like, I'm not.
That was the other day. You're good now.
I cry all the time. I'm such a crier. It's ridiculous. Okay, so I know that I know you've talked about this in the past on different on different YouTube videos and stuff, and I kind of want to just touch base on this, because this is real life, man. Like, and 2020 was hard for a lot of people. 2020 was hard for a lot of people. We're in Texas, where there's a lot of oil field here, and a lot of people losing their jobs and different things like that. And I know you've talked about suffering from anxiety and different kinds of depression and things like that. That is something that I feel like there's so many different people that are feeling. and I kind of feel like they're like all the time cheerleader. I'm like, come on, you deserve more. Like you, let's do this. You know what's going to help answer that? This is going to help answer that. Like I'm constantly like, I always feel like that person. Right. And so I want them to hear from you when it comes to this subject, because this is something that I know that anxiety is something that you live with, and that you have definitely overcame in a lot of different ways. You're kind of a badass, I'm just saying. So when it comes to this, definitely, for sure, can you just talk on this a little bit, and also if you can touch on right after that, if you want to go into vision casting for you and your team, because that's kind of that's another thing that along with, because I always coincide the two, like with overcoming anxiety and depression. I personally fled my anxiety out by vision casting. That's one of the things that I do, in prayer, right? But when I'm vision casting, a lot of it is me talking to God and praying out loud and doing those kind of things and manifesting along with praying. And so, yeah, if you just want to talk on that a little bit, I would really appreciate your raw honesty on that subject.
Yeah, so like just real quick, so having anxiety, getting through that, you're saying, and then vision casting, is that pretty much what you
After,
just
yeah, direct, yeah. If you want to go into that after.
Yep. So I really do. It's one of my biggest pet peeves is when someone says, "Oh, you have OCD." Me too. I love to clean. Get out of my face. Get out of my face. Get out of my face. I cannot. I was actually diagnosed. My life. Joe is in the other room. I guarantee he's like, she sucks. She's hard to live with. She is so hard to live with. Okay. COVID. Welcome to washing your hands 50 million times a day like I do. Welcome to sanitizing your groceries like I always have. Welcome to having it. You know, I hate to use the terminology because it's not true. I don't want it to be true, but it rules my life, okay? I have anxiety. I grew up struggling in school. I will never forget, ever, ever, ever. I will never forget. I lost my dad when I was 12, and I already had ADD, and I went to school. I had to go back to school, and I hated school. My mom was like, "Are you sure you want to go? Like, your dad literally just passed away yesterday. You don't have to." But I was in a fog. So I'm like, yeah, I'll go to school. Hate school. Who says that at 12 years old? Like, what? I went to school, and my teacher was like, "Listen, I'll never forget her coming up to me. I was looking out my window, and I wasn't paying any attention, and she was like, I know that you just lost your dad, but like you need to focus." And I will never forget that feeling of someone being like, just so, not only do I have ADD, but like I'm struggling. So it especially started when you lose control over something like I did. I lost my dad, and he was coming to see us, and like he was drunk driving, and he killed an 8-year-old. And I've lived with that since I was 12. Like you lose control a little bit. And especially when you're young and like you already have 8 siblings, things are kind of chaotic, you're poor, like I needed control over something. And I developed OCD. So I have actual obsessive compulsive disorder where you do things that don't make sense, and I don't like explaining them to people, right? And so when I was like 17, I finally went and got diagnosed. My mom finally, at 17, don't ask me why she took so long, love her to death, but teachers would tell my mom, Kimberly is not listening at all. She doesn't hear a thing I say. I was failing all of my classes. I couldn't even tell you. I graduated high school a year and a half late, hated school. And I remember my mom saying, okay, we should probably go and get you tested. I'm like, oh, okay, senior year, good idea. So we went, it was a 5-hour thing. And they said, Kim, you have ADD off the charts. You have ADD off the charts. I'm like, Mom, I told you. And then I have really bad anxiety. I have very bad anxiety, not crippling where like, oh God, I'm afraid to talk to people. Like anxiety when things are even going well, I get overwhelmed and I'm short of breath and like, whatever, right? It used to be worse. I will say like God is medicine, okay? Because it used to be a lot worse. But I have anxiety, which contributes to my OCD. So if the more anxious I am, the more my OCD tendencies show. And it's hard, y'all. It is bad. So I overcome that though by knowing like you vision casting for, I love that you said that, because when you listen, what you think about, you bring about. And how does it go? Hold on, let me think for a minute. Thoughts create feelings, and feelings create action. So if you don't like where you are, think about where you want to be. You don't like that you're anxiety ridden and depressed, all the time. Okay, you're probably putting most of that, not, okay, hold on, I'm going to say this the wrong way. Quit labeling yourself. I don't come up to people and say, I'm Kim and oh my gosh, I have OCD and like anxiety and I'm, that isn't who I am. It's a part of who I am. It's a part of who I am. But I choose every day to like make it better. I'm not trying to suffocate it or bury it deep down. It's who I am, but I've learned how to manage it. And with having OCD my entire life, it's just kind of, I'm used to it. But if you struggle like that, you need to be vision, like she said, vision casting. I like those words, but thoughts create feelings and feelings create action. So you don't like where you're at, I want you to think about where you want to be. Y'all, I went double diamond. She probably heard this on my video, maybe. I can't remember if I talked about it, but I went double diamond by sitting at a McDonald's every night for 30 days because I had no cell phone. My cell phone was turned off. Fun part of having no cell phone service is even if you have Wi-Fi, you can use your phone. But guess what? My power was turned off completely. We couldn't afford it. So I was living in a home where it was like we had no TV on, no lights on, my phone didn't work. It felt like I was at jail. Okay, that's the world we live in. We need all that stuff. But I felt like I was in a dark cave. And I would go to McDonald's because I was like, this is enough. This is enough. I would go to McDonald's. I hate McDonald's. I smelled like it every night when I came home. And I went double diamond. 30 days. I mean, I sat there for 30 days. I went there every night until they closed at midnight. And I just did what I had to do because thoughts create feelings and feelings create action. I hated where I was. I hated that we were still like, because yeah, I'd gone diamond. But over the course of 2 years, I had lost diamond. I needed to, again, I was at my worst. I was very negative. I was very, like, I was growing in my faith. I was figuring out who I was as a person. I was a brand, when I had Lucy, I had major postpartum depression. And then I actually went through something right after having Lucy and it was terrible. So you're going to go through life, but how do you come out of it? On top, you come out on top. Girl, get up, like that YouTube video. But I literally just kept thinking about, okay, I might be sitting in a living room with no power and no phone service, and this freaking sucks, and I hate it so much. And I have 2 toddlers that are in my face. They don't get it. They don't know why they can't watch Paw Patrol. Life is just, I'm breaking out in hives, I think. But I thought about where I wanted to be. This isn't where I'm going to remain. This is just a bump. This is a valley. And if you choose to sit in that, that's on you. But if you want, rise up, get up, do the things you know you need to do. And I had to sit in McDonald's. I told Joe every night, I'm like, as soon as we get the kids to bed, I'm headed there and I'm doing, like, I'm working. Talk about being intentional. I want y'all to work your business like you have 2 hours to your name. And then after that, it's cut off. Like you have no more time, done. And so I went double diamond. I remember getting my first paycheck and I was like, this is it. We're never going back there. We're never going back there. And I've never gone back there. You need to get off your ass and quit blaming other people and blaming your circumstances and doing these things. I've been through it. I thank God for my been through it. Because I can say to people, I started a business with an eviction notice and a month-old baby. Then I had a second kid. I had postpartum depression. She had colic. Lucy sucked for 4 months. Oh my gosh, y'all, she was hard. But now she's the cutest and best thing I've ever known in my life. But it was hard. She was a hard baby. I've gone through everything you can go through, really. Some people are like, oh, but I have a full-time job or I stubbed my toe. I'm like, okay, I've gone through lots. I've had 2 kids. I've had 2 toddlers. I've had 2 babies at home. I've had 1 baby at school. Now I have 2 babies at school. I've been through it. Okay, doesn't define who you are. Your anxiety, your depression. Okay, that's sorry about it. That sucks. But God is good. The enemy will make you feel like that's all you are. But if you give it to God, you'll know that you're so much more than that. Go look at Ephesians. You are so much more than that. And when you remind yourself of like the things that God says you are, the anxiety, the depression, guess what? It gets a little bit better, a little bit more manageable. Therefore, everything around you becomes different. Your business becomes different. Your relationships become different because you are becoming different. And then, so remember that thoughts create feelings, feelings create action. All of a sudden, you're going to get your butt to work because you're thinking. Literally, it's manifesting. It's energy. I mean, when you think about this is where I want to be, all of a sudden, like the universe and you're just God. They're all meeting up, having a conversation, having a meeting, going, okay, she's ready. Let's make it all align because now she's envisioning it. She's visualizing what she wants, and we want to intercede and make sure that we can be the feet that help her get there. You just have to vision cast. Think about where you want to be. Think about where you're going. Your current circumstances, that's going to be a story to tell. God is just creating a story. Let him create it. But where you're going, That is the good stuff. I'm nowhere near done. I'm only 29 years old. I've grown in my 20s in this business. And I'm so thankful for that. That's a hard, 20s are kind of crazy. I am so glad I found this business in my 20s. And not any sooner, not any later. Like, I'm so thankful because I've grown in this business to become the best version of myself. The woman you are hearing from today is not the girl that started this business at all whatsoever, not even a little bit. Confidence, the way that I look, the way that I feel about myself, just the way that I speak, you are going to get better and better and better and better and better. Your purpose, you are always being called to do more, but are you listening? Like, listen. You were put in your mother's womb on purpose. They did not create you on accident. Your name,
nervous breakdown.
Your name is specifically for you. Like, you were literally created on purpose. Just like walk in that tomorrow and then tell your anxiety what's up. Like, what's good. I know who I'm walking as today. I'm a king's child. Like, some of us forget. Why are you forgetting? Like, how are you forgetting? Like, you're here for a reason. Some of us just let the enemy pull a seat up to the table and stay a little longer than he should. Stop. And then you blame it on anxiety, you blame it on this thing. Girl, it's probably just the fact that you are sitting and simmering and just the wrong stuff. So vision cast, where do you want to be? Where do you want to be? Where do you want to be? I'm always thinking about what's next. And I'm not talking about, a new car and, this much, like, it's more than that. I want presidential because, that's $20,000 a month, and it means that I'm growing more and my bank account is looking good. My kids' future is looking good. That's how I look at it. Like, I'm able to do things that my family I've never been to Disney. I'm 29 years old. We couldn't afford that. Like, we've never done things. I want to be able to do things. And so what presidential means to me is it means that we're breaking chains. We're doing really hard things. We're actually getting it done so that we have a story to tell, so that people are going, that's a miracle. That was God. That's all that it could be. And it means that someone on my team went triple and double and diamond and rubies everywhere. And it means more than that. So what are you really working for? So my vision casting is always in front of me. So, like, on my dream board is a trip to Disney, December 2021. More spontaneous family trips, giving back more. I want, like, we live to give. And until you understand that, that's a big deal. God is like, this is my money. I'm just blessing you with it. What are you doing? Can you even be trusted with it? But then I want to foster, you guys. I want to foster and adopt. Joe's not on board, but we're getting there. I want to join my worship team. This isn't just it work stuff. This presidential diamond is allowing me to live the life that I am called to live. Okay, so the worship team, I want to join my worship team. And I want 100,000, it's my goal. I want 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. I love doing makeup. And I want people to come to my channel and be inspired, not just by, like, oh, she does it works and she does makeup. No, I want you to come see the Jesus freak that I am also. Like, I want a YouTube channel that helps people, while we're doing our makeup. And then I want my car completely paid off. I want to be completely financially free, which is debt free in 2021. You have to be thinking about where you're going, and then hold yourself accountable, because you are anointed, you are equipped, you are empowered, you are already all of those things. You just forget. So if you need to write it down, do that. If you need to put it on, don't subscribe to my YouTube yet. I'm not gonna lie, presidential is more important. So I'm getting there. I go live more than anything, but I looked at that and I'm like, oh man, I need to start my YouTube channel for real. But eventually we're gonna go there. But presidential is important right now to me. So I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna focus on this. So I'm having a lot of fun on TikTok and Reels right now, let's be real. But you just have to focus. And if you forget, that's my favorite scripture, Angelina, is you can do all things through Christ who gives you strength, okay? Philippians 4:13. If you need to write that stuff down, like, I love quotes, you guys, they're cool, but like, what about scripture? That is living, breathing, like live quotes that say who you really are. So I like things like Philippians 4:13. Nothing is impossible with God, like those kinds of things, because we forget who we are. We forget it. And so if you need to write it down, do that. But you have to speak life over yourself. You have to vision cast. Stop speaking death. Stop saying things like, I can't sign distributors. I can't sign loyal customers. Ruby is really hard. Oh my gosh, I can't get there. What? Who told you that? Who said that? The other day, someone said to me, it was just a friend. It was just a friend. It had nothing to do with It Works. And, you know, people come and they're like, sometimes I feel like I'm not good enough. Like literally the person said, I feel like everything I'm doing is just not good enough. And I'm like, who told you that? Who said that? I'm one of those like annoyed people. I'm like, wait, who said that? Oh, I just think it. Oh, nobody? You know good and well that's not who you are. So like we're moving right on. You know exactly, like if you need to refer back to who you actually are, it's in Ephesians. We don't do that over here. We don't do that. We don't talk that mess. We're not ugly, we're not fat, we're not incapable, we can't, you know, we don't talk like that. Stop talking like that. Why are you speaking death when it's just as easy to speak life? It's just as easy. Instead of saying things like I can't sign distributors, say things like, you know what, I'm excited to bring more people onto my team. I'm working hard for it. I'm attracting the right people. And then be that person and watch how it works out in your favor. Just watch and talk about that. Because again, what you focus on expands.
Dude, yes. It's yes. I already wiped my tears, got rid of it. But yes, dude, it's like everything you're saying is just, it's so true in like so many different ways. It's just so true. And yeah, I mean, yes, like all the things, yes. And you know what's so funny is I always think of when I think of vision casting, when you're super anxious or you're living in a spot that you don't want to be in, or you are, you know, that kind of thing. You know what always comes to mind? This is going to sound really funny, but you know what always comes to mind? It's my husband's favorite movie, The Pursuit of Happiness with Will Smith. When he's in the bathroom, do you remember when he's in the bathroom with his son and he's like, there's dinosaurs outside and they're homeless and they're like in the bathroom on like of the subway, and he's literally like telling this story and giving him this vision, and his son like is literally like, we're fighting dinosaurs, and he's like holding back tears because he's like putting his son in a different place than what they are. And you guys, like when in that is the same way that like when the enemy speaks to us and he discourages us or distracts us, and uses comparison. I mean, comparison is such it is the work of the enemy, right? Like comparison is so bad. And like, honestly, like I can tell you like firsthand, like for years, I would compare myself. For years, I would see like these people going diamond in like 2 minutes. And I'm like, what is happening? I've been quote unquote stuck at emerald for, you know, and I'm like, what is happening? And I would get so discouraged and so distracted. But that's what the enemy does the most. But you know, when you can vision cast over yourself when you're feeling like that and you're like, hey, but I'm just here temporary, this is where I'm going, and you start filling your mind with that positivity and those thoughts and that vision, your body doesn't know the difference. Your body thinks you're already there. Your body's like, we're at Disney during Christmas with the candy cane ears on, like we're already there. It doesn't even know the difference at all. It's like we're celebrating. We're already VIP elite. What are you talking about, right? So I don't know. I just love that. Okay. Okay, let's go to the last question I have, and it's because you're a freaking queen at this. And it probably sounds like, we're getting back to this real quick. Okay, yes, we are, because you're a freaking queen at this. You have the best upselling like system, right? From what I hear, like that you have like one of the best. She said yes, and I'm gonna get that tattooed on my face too.
We'll see about it.
Hold my collagen and watch this. But you have one of like the best upselling systems that is around. When I was going through all the different YouTubes, I was like, I'm finding when I type in upselling it works, you are going to be one of the first ones that come up on different people's channels. Like upselling is something that is your thing, girl. And so we want to know tell us all the tips and tricks on that. And yeah, because I know I got my pen and paper ready. Let's do it.
Let's do it. I can send you the scripts too, because I love Jesus, y'all. I do. And I give it all to God. But then guess what? What you pray for, you got to move your feet. Now you got to move your feet. It's up to you. Like you have to pray. Listen, it's on my wall. You pray like it's up to God, and you plant like it's up to you. So your business is going to flourish, but you've got to pray about it. You have to believe it as though it already is. You have to thank him as though it's already been done. You've got to do all those things. Yes, ma'am. But then you have to get to work. You have to get to work, okay? So, but guess what? It's a lot easier. It's a lot more beautiful. When you give it to God first, then you get to work. Ooh, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful process. It's not this like, Now I gotta go ask people do host to pose. No, like it's gonna feel nasty if you're nasty. Like if you've got this, I always tell my team, you're probably not signing distributors. Like I'm messaging people, like you're probably not signing distributors because you're messaging them with this like ugh mentality as soon as you go into it. Like she's right, your subconscious literally doesn't know between fake and real. Isn't that crazy? Like, isn't that crazy? So I promise you, you go into something like with a bad attitude, like, oh, okay, I have someone on my team, okay? She constantly shows up to work when she needs a fast start bonus. And I'm like, girl, that's all you're gonna get then. That's it. You're just gonna get a bunch of fast start bonuses, maybe, and then that's it. Because you're so focused on just getting those small wins. We're here for the long haul. And if you're not focused on helping other people win, good luck to you. So now that we've talked about equipping yourself and like having the best day ever and I pray to God when I'm in my kitchen by myself with my eyes open, just standing there. But now we have to get to work, okay? So I love upselling. Claire Flores is like my adopted upline. I love her to death. I don't have an upline, y'all. That's a huge part of my story too. I don't have anybody who checks in on me. I'm not in any team pages but my own. I don't have anybody, but guess what? My goals keep me motivated. I don't need nobody. I don't need anybody to say, you get some work done today. Don't worry about me. Worry about yourself. I am completely focused. I'm completely focused. And it works as a whole. It's just beautiful. So I don't have to worry about that. But Claire is like my adopted upline. And she came to me one night and was like, girl, how do you upsell? And I gave her just some tidbit notes. And she was like, what? This is so good. I'm like, what? Wait, I thought everybody was doing this. So I would rather work smarter, not harder. And I'm not shy about talking about the products. And you know why? Because I use them. Okay, because I use them. So drop a 3 in the comments if you're like, heck yes, thank you. I use them too. I love them. I run my auto shipment every month. No brainer, like 80 BV plus. Mine's about like 400 BV. I swear to you, I love the products. And I do. The skincare is my baby. So I like to work smarter, not harder. So as I'm, talking to someone about the products, you guys, why are you afraid to talk about what goes hand in hand? That's a projection of you. Like they're not sitting over there going, why is she upselling to me? No, they're like, oh, thank you. I trust you. I trust you. Thank you for like helping me. I trust you. Same with the opportunity. If you're afraid to talk about the opportunity, take 2 seconds to think about the fact that you said yes to it. Like, what? You said yes to the same opportunity you're afraid to talk about. What are you talking about? Talk about it. People are praying for your blessing every single day. But my favorite upsell, I can send it to her when we get off. I can send her like my scripts. But how do you get more sales if you can't use the products? You can use the products, so you will figure it out. I love when I first joined, I made my auto shipment things that I would literally pay for my auto shipment, and then I would get 4 wraps. I would sell all 4 of them, and I would use the greens for free. Now, because I worked my butt off, even going executive Ruby, like that paid for my auto shipment, you guys. And then, you can use plenty of products, Barbara. Plenty of products while you're pregnant, girlfriend. Plenty. I used almost everything when I was pregnant, especially the skincare. Of course, ask your doctor if you have questions. But I used everything. I used everything. I used the greens, especially the stretch mark cream, the defining gel, the skincare. Back then, I used the wraps on my arms. I didn't use them on my belly. But I used the products absolutely when I was absolute Confianza. I took double the amount. Homegirl, I take 2 a day of Confianza. That's a non-negotiable. That is my anxiety, okay? But when I was pregnant, I took more because I didn't want to be on my Zoloft anymore. So anyway, sorry, that distracted me, but you can absolutely use some of the products. But anyway, so I sell a lot of hair, skin, and nails, believe it or not. And like right now, y'all, my hair is long. This is long. I'm embarrassed. Like, don't look at me. This is long. This is too much. It's fuzzy, but I sell a lot of hair, skin, and nails, even though I don't use it because I don't want hair. Like this for me is too long, but I know women love their hair and our hair, skin, and nails works. So whenever I'm doing host posts, I do a lot of hair, skin, and nail host posts. And so I'm having people post something like, who on my friends list is trying to grow out their hair? My friend Kim needs 5 to 10 brand new product models for her plant-based supplement. She'll even give you her 40% discount. And then people are responding to that. I'll give the scripts, don't worry, but people are responding to that. They're commenting, they're like, me, I'm trying to grow my hair out. So I'll go and add them and message them and say, and I don't even use pictures, I just use words. So the people will comment and I'll message them and I'll say, hey girl, I have just a couple spots left to join my hair challenge. Is that something that you're interested in? It's a little more than that, but I'm not going to repeat it word for word. And then they'll say, yep, I'm interested. They usually say, give me more info or how much is it or something. That's when I go into the script that says this. I will type out real quick so I can read it to you guys. Post. I have text replacement. I love text replacement. All right. So then I say, of course. So it's a plant-based supplement that actually works. I'm obsessed with it. You take it daily with water and food. I'm giving you my 40% discount, and all that I'm asking for in exchange is monthly progress pictures as you're ordering this month. What are we in? February, March, and April. If you'd like to continue ordering after that, you get even more perks. So I highly recommend doing so, but you're in control of your orders. Sound good? And they always say, yup, how much is it? I make them ask again. So I don't change my verbiage. They just ask me again. They're like, yeah, okay, but how much is it? And I always just say real quick, this isn't a script. I say, it's usually about 60 bucks a month, but at my discount, you're getting it for like $36 a month. Does that sound good? And they're like, oh yeah, yep, sign me up. And then I literally have them text me. And I say, cool, I would love to place your order. So go ahead and text me. Here's my number and we're going to do it safely. Y'all, if you're afraid to get people's information, that's on you, not them. Everybody sends me their information. 99% of the time, they're like, yep, here you go. I trust you. Thank you, ma'am. Have a nice day. Okay, so don't worry about that. So they text me and I have a text replacement for this. And I say, hi, thanks for texting. It's so much safer. All I need from you is your full name, shipping address, email, date of birth, credit debit card number, expiration date, and CVV. Once I place your order, expect it to your door pretty quickly. They send it to me just like that. No questions asked. So yeah, they send me their information. As soon as they give me their information, y'all, now I have them in the palm of my hands because I have their information. Like I am in control here now. So then I upsell. Always upsell after you have their information. So I'll say this. This is what I send. As soon as they say yes to hair, skin, and nail.
And I want to highlight what she just said. Always upsell after you have their information.
Mm-hmm.
Just want to highlight that real quick.
Yes, because a confused mind says no. They came to you for hair, skin, and nails. Don't confuse them with all this mumbo jumbo and upselling. Let them say yes first and really secure that yes, then upsell. Because then they're like, all right, I get the customer program. I get that I'm ordering. We have all that established. Now they're a little more comfortable with you and they're like, oh, so I send this script real quick. It's very short. I know it's going to sound long, but it's this long. Okay, so look at that. Super, super short. And it just says, and as much as you're going to love your results with hair, skin, and nails, I do recommend pairing it with our collagen since you're unlocking half off of my entire store. It's an amazing fruity drink that tastes like strawberry jello, and it's a powder that you mix with water and it goes hand in hand with the hair, skin, and nails. It helps promote more youthful glowing skin. It basically repairs your elasticity from the inside out. Did you want to add a bag of that to your order? This is my best friend Katie in 2 weeks from just the collagen. And I send a corporate approved picture of my girl Katie Bevington. In 14 days, her skin was like completely different. And she got that corporate approved because I used it so much. Fun fact. She was like, let me go, wait, people are asking for it now. Let me go get it corporate approved. So I send that and they always say, oh, how much is that? That sounds good. And I'm like, it's only 40 bucks for a bag. And then you guys, we have a deal right now, so you can utilize that. But when it's no deal, I say it's actually only 40 bucks for a bag of 15. You could drink it. Oh, my kid's up. You can drink it every other night, or you can get 2 bags and you can drink it every night like I do. And you guys, they usually get 2 bags. And then guess what? I'm not done. I say, now, awesome. I'm super excited. You're getting such a great, like double, like a combo that is just going to change your world. But now I have to ask, do you have any other health and wellness goals like weight loss, energy, or just nutrition? And I've had a bride, say to me, yeah, I have weight loss goals. I'm getting into a dress next month. Like, heck yeah, what do you have? And I'm like, girl, we got this fat burning coffee. Just have a conversation after that. Just have a conversation. So with HSN, yes, I have a script for collagen, but then I'm just like, oh girl, we have a coffee that burns fat. We have greens that are a daily detox. Now we have a skinny tea that debloats and helps with water retention. Like that's beneficial for someone getting into a dress soon, like it debloats. We have a skinny wrap. We have a skinny wrap that firms, tightens, and tones in 45 minutes. Which of those things sounds more interesting to you? Just navigate the conversation from there. They're going to say, coffee and whatever, the greens sound great. What is that? How much does that cost? And if we have a deal, you just tell them. If we don't, how much the loyal customer price is. And then I always say, a bag is this much, but if you want two so you can drink it every day, I recommend the two. And I'm keeping it very short, sweet, and simple. I'm not answering questions that aren't asked. I'm not like overloading them with all these products. I'm not a green personality at all, so that's not a problem for me, but I don't give them like ingredients. I let them decide. What do you want to use? And if someone says, I have this kind of condition, okay, then go talk to your doctor. I don't know the answers for that, but I don't ever get that, y'all. I don't ever get that. People know their bodies. People know their pockets. Quit spending money for them. Let them do it themselves. Some people have $500 saved up that they just they're waiting on you. And so be that person who upsells. And then once I have their order, like completely, yes, I will. Once I have their order all set up and I'm like, all right, cool. I am so glad we had this conversation. So you're getting hair, skin, and nails, 2 bags of collagen, and a bag of coffee, plus our skinny tea, let's just say, okay? And I'm like, cool, I can't wait to place your order. The last thing I do, y'all, this takes me 2 seconds. I hope you understand. The more you do this, the easier it becomes. This takes me 2 seconds. I'm not overflowing with information. I'm just having a conversation, but I always end it with this. I say, okay, before we go this route, I'd be doing a disservice by not asking you this. This business completely changed my family's entire life, allowing me time freedom that I used to pray for. Would you consider making money using these products? If their answer is no, they're still a customer. You still win. But if their answer is yes, you just maybe got someone to join your team, and like maybe they're your next diamond, and maybe they'll still order their product or some of it. I always tell, if I upgrade them to a distributor, I still say, by the way, you can still get your products if you want to add that on. It's only $39 to start, and then you can always add those products that you wanted to, or a few of them, or whatever you want to do. And they're like, oh, okay. Like, you just ask. And like I was telling Claire, if you do the upselling part and they're like, nope, I just want to try hair, skin, and nails. Okay, you still win. You still signed a customer. You still did your job. Yes, make an ask out of yourself. And then if someone needs ingredients, get into your eSuite and click the product info, and it'll open up like the ingredients. And I just screenshot it and I send it to them. And I say, there you go. Look that over. Do you have any questions? And they're usually like, oh, thank you. Nope, sounds good. I'm not cool beans. And I hardly ever get that, y'all. I've been doing this 7 years and I hardly ever get that. But if I do, just screenshot, send it to them and call it a day. You're doing what you can do, right? So I just try not to get into people's pockets. And if you get it, listen, they might just want hair, skin, and nails, but at least you were bold enough to, I'm going to send them to her, don't worry. But at least you were bold enough to ask if they wanted anything else. At least you exude confidence when you do that. Listen, I know these products work because I use them. Therefore, it is really, really easy for me to talk about the products. I get really excited when someone's like, hey, Kim, I need a skincare routine. I'm like, let's talk about it. What do you do now, if anything? And what's your skin type? And we just have a conversation. I'm like, girl, you need Refresh. You need our serum. You need to use a moisturizer every day. You might even want to add the exfoliating pads. But I get excited. If you exude confidence and like, what you're talking about, even if you're faking that you know what you're talking about, they respect that. Just like when I went to Cracker Barrel today and I ate lunch with my friend, and when I got to the register, she said, did you want to add some of these chocolates? And I was like, no, but thank you for asking. Like, everybody upsells. Like, I didn't want them. I just ate a whole freaking buffet. I don't want your chocolates, but you were bold enough to ask me and I might've said yes, but I didn't. But guess what? You still got a customer who paid for food. Congratulations. Like, just upsell. They're confident in those damn chocolates. We just need to be confident in selling some hair, skin, and nails and collagen put together. Like, the wraps and the defining gel go hand in hand. Truly, they do. I don't like when someone buys one or the other. I'm like, no, do both. I promise you, they're sister products. If someone's gonna get coffee, I'm like, girl, you gotta get greens. Don't forget, like, come on now, trust me. And then if someone gets the Refresh, I'm like, you better have a moisturizer at home. If not, you're buying one of mine. Like, you can't have a skincare routine without a moisturizer, girl. And so just be excited about the products, and that really does come from using them. So try something new every month. Add it, and then if you don't like it, okay, but try something new every month so that you're excited instead of going into a conversation like, oh yeah, the collagen restores skin's elasticity. It's super great. No, you're going to go, girl, the collagen tastes like, first of all, strawberry Kool-Aid. It's super great. It's super good. It's like an orange color, but it also has helped me so much with my blank. I have loved what it's done for my skin, and really it has made my skin glow. So just be confident. Just be confident. People are gonna be like, you're right, I want to try it, because you've used it and you can tell you've used it. So I'll send her my upsell. I'll send them all.
Yes, send that over to me and I'll get it to them. And guys, that's what creates those long-term customers, right? Like,
Mhm.
because they're excited when they see results, and they're going to see more results on their hair and their skin and their nails and their
Yeah.
lashes when they're pairing the two sister products. And that gets them excited, and that gets them really like pumped up, and then they want to share these products with other people, and then they become a distributor, and then they're sharing these products with other people. And so, yeah, you guys, it creates that loyalty to the product line and to you as the distributor, especially if you're following up with them, which we have. If you guys are not using Connect to follow up with people, to follow up with your loyal customers, oh my gosh, get on that, because it has a 30-day, a 60-day, and a 90-day follow-up. And literally any customers that signed up 30 days before, you can send that 30-day follow-up, that 60-day follow-up, that 90-day follow-up. And you can even add voice clips in there. It's just, it's freaking awesome. Kim, those are all of our questions. Do you have anything last minute that is just on your heart, that maybe God said on your heart, that you want to share with us before we let you go and get to your kiddos? Because I know they're like, what's happening?
They're in bed
good.
every night.
Okay, I was like, oh my gosh, I feel horrible.
No, fun story. They're in bed every night by 8 o'clock, but our heater went out, and we live in Michigan. So like, we have a guy here. He can probably hear me talking to y'all. And he's probably like, your wife is or girlfriend. Why did I say wife? Your girlfriend is fired up. I bet he's right there, because he's like literally fixing our furnace. So my kids are probably like, what is happening? I'm sending her all of my scripts now, but you guys, if I can leave you with anything, it's just like, real quick, share your goals for the end of February with me in the comments. I just want to see, like, what is your goal by the end of February? Is it to get a Ruby bonus? Is it to go Emerald and get that 5K, Diamond and get more bonuses? Like, what is it that you want? And it took me a long time. I'll leave you with this. It took me a long time. I love seeing all of it come in, but it took me a long time to like say what I wanted and actually believe it. You guys, can I be honest? I made my first dream board, like really made my first dream board not this one that's on my wall, but the dream board I had for 2020, the dream board that I had for 2020. And I joined in 2013, because to me, I thought it was like cheesy. I'm like, oh, y'all are just writing down stuff. Like, you're putting up pictures of houses that you don't even want or couldn't even afford. Like, what are y'all doing? Now I get it. Like, now I get it. I know what I want. I know why I want it. And I'm being specific as hell. And then I'm giving it to God. So like, why do you want Ruby? I used to do the same thing. I used to put in chats like, girl, I'm going for presidential. I just want to say the words. Now I'm like, no, listen. I've done a lot of moving and shaking. God has done some things in me, and it's time. I know exactly why I want it. I know how I'm going to execute it. I know how many people I need. I know when I look at my chart, who's working and who's not. I know exactly the volume that I need, and I know we're going to get it done. You have to, when you say something, be for real about it. Like, quit talking and start walking, and show people. People want to see God work. And that's exactly what you're doing every time you show people up. And you're going to leave people behind. Good riddance. Have a nice life. Some people just cannot with the glow up. They're like, wait, you started where I'm at. Why do you get out of here? So they're going to talk shit. They're going to do what they need to do.
Mm-hmm.
Let them. They're not, let them go. Let them go. They're not supposed to be in your life anyway. They just want you to remain where they are. They want you to be complacent. They want you to be stuck. And if they're not ready to move, that's okay. Doesn't mean you can't. So if you want the things you want that you put in the chat, really get after it. And yes, exactly, Bianca. You have to make room for the new. God has such a good story that he's going to tell through you, but not if you're holding on to dead weight. Not if you're carrying dead weight. Not if you can lead a horse to water, but you cannot make them drink it. That goes with anything, your team that you have on your charts, or your mom that you're steadily trying to convince that this can be a real job. Who cares? Like, until those people pay your bills, who cares? Like, you just need to keep going. You just need to keep going. A lot of people talk shit, but I'm like, my cable bill was still paid by me. I didn't see you put your name on it. Like, until you buy groceries for my family, put them in my fridge, I don't care. I literally don't care.
And even then I might buck you.
Right. Okay. Thank you. I'm like, can I really cuss or can I cut like a little bit? Like,
You're
really
fine.
though, you go back to your, like, really though, you go back to your 3 jobs. You go back to your 3 jobs. I'm gonna stay where I'm at. I'm gonna do what I'm doing. I'm gonna keep moving. So whatever you want and you put it in the chat, be intentional with that. Pray over that specifically. Know why you want it and just put your head down and get to work. Get to work and stop letting everything distract you. Stop. And equip yourself with God's word in the morning before you do anything, so that when the enemy comes and tries to steal your joy and compare you to other people, you're already equipped. You're like, no, I knew this was coming. It's all good. Like, just say God's name out loud and watch, he will scatter. Once you say, God, this is your burden, it is no longer yours to carry. You just gave it to him. So just do that. Just do that. And don't be bold and you just need mustard seed size faith. That's it. That's teeny tiny. That's all God is asking for, is a little bit of your time and a little bit of faith, and he'll work on the rest. Just let him have it. And so I hope that you accomplish the things that you say you want in February. Don't just put it in a chat to put it in a chat. You might as well have been silent, but really go and get it done. Go and get it done. We're all cheering you on. And if you don't get it, guess what? You're going to get it the next month, but we know you can do it this month, and be willing to grow through the process and don't give up. That's all.
Yes, dude. Yes, I love that. Thank you so freaking much. Thank you so much. This has been absolutely amazing, and I so appreciate you pouring into us and giving us all these tips and tricks. And I feel like there's gonna be a lot of changed lives on here that you don't even know about yet. So thank you so much for being so raw. Thank you so much for being raw. All right, girlfriend, I'll let you get to it. I appreciate you, and we'll talk to you soon.
Yes. Bye, guys. Have a good night.
We're cheering you on, a Perez, girl.
Yeah, you too, dude. Everybody. Thank you. I appreciate it.
You got this.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.